Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. You can always change. Now, this is one of those subjects, I'm always hit upon this, like gratitude, like having gratitude. This is one of those ones I gotta hit on all the time because it never fails. You know, you meet people who, men and women, who they get to a certain age and they feel like that's it. I mean, y'all ever see that? Like people, they just seem like they age they got to a point and they're like, it's nothing else. They just kind of give up on life. I mean, really, they're dying. And I mean, of course, technically we all in a state where we're dying, but these people they just gave up on life. You know, they had dreams, they either failed the dreams or they didn't even go for the dreams. They get a certain age and they feel like it's over. You know what? I remember this woman I know. She's in her late 50s or early 60s now, right? And she went to college but had to drop out. And she wanted to be a doctor, right? She wanted to be a doctor. So she did her hustles over the years. Had a family, popped out some kids, got grandkids. Would end up divorcing her husband. I'd say she was in her 40s when she started getting into like different holistic healing modalities. And I remember she's telling me, she was like, that's interesting. Wanted to be a doctor, and now I'm doing, I'm not an official doctor, but I'm doing healing work. And I was just like, you know what, that's awesome. You never know. You never know what you can really do, because it's never too late to change. You can always change. You can always make that move. You can be going through hell into your 60s and just all of a sudden something kicks in and it's like, oh, you finally found that thing that you're good at, right? Seriously, you finally found that thing that clicked. I mean, that happened in my own life. And I was I'm in my 50s doing videos and stuff. At first, I ain't do videos. I ain't think I would have the level of success that I did. You find stuff, and there's always stories of someone who got into something late. I mean, there's stories of people, men and women weightlifters, fitness people. They started late. Modeling. You can, because as long as your mind is active and you are healthy, you can do whatever. You're not stuck you ain't stuck in a job, or profession. I mean, I've met people in their 50s who would go back to school, get degrees and everything, and then do some stuff. I remember I was watching this one TV show. It's one of those reality shows, and this guy was talking about his father had been a steel worker, got laid off, and he went back to school and got into finance, banking, like big money. You can always change. There's nothing stopping it. And see, the beauty of it? Beauty of it is you don't have to go through a big rigmarole to actually make a change. You really don't. You don't have to. A change starts as soon as the second you decide to make the change and then take the steps towards it. I remember this entrepreneur told me, he was like, when I first decided I really wanted to get into business, he said, you know what? 50% of the battle is just deciding you want to do it. And then the other 50 is just doing it. And that's how you have to be. You have to just say, you know what? If you don't like your surroundings, how you live in, you don't like something about your, I don't know. You're living or where you working, everything. And it could be anything. The key, once you make that choice to change, doors start opening. For example, say, I don't know, say you decide to get into, I don't know, the ice cream business. You just sitting around, you watching TV, and an ice cream commercial come on. You say, I want to get into that. What happens, as soon as you make that one choice at that one moment, things start opening up, because the key to it is it's not just a passing thought. It's like, look, I really want to do this. All of a sudden, you start paying attention to little stuff. You start noticing ice cream trucks, ice cream places. Like, there might be an ice cream place you go into all the time to get some ice cream, and then all of a sudden you go in there and you start paying attention to little things. In fact, you might even say something like, you know what, I got a job opening here. It starts opening up for you. It starts that one little choice, that 1 second when you decide you want to do something and you convicted to do it. I mean, it's just a conviction. It's like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Things open up. Like when I decided I wanted to write years ago, like just write, make money from writing, so many things opened up. You start paying attention, you start seeing stuff, I remember this one printer that I used to pass all the time. I think I passed it a few times, and you kind of note stuff more like a landmark. As soon as I decided to start writing, all of a sudden I started noticing like the type of stuff that they printed. You pay attention to that. You might see something about a writing course or something like that. I start seeing those things. And that's with whatever you want to do. You can decide you want to be a personal trainer. All of a sudden, you start noticing, like, paying attention to commercials more. Or paying attention to, like, if you at a gym already, you might start paying attention to how the trainers are, like, conducting their sessions. It opens it up. And see, once you open it up, that 1 second, boom, everything else starts opening up for you. But remember, it starts with that choice. And remember, I don't care where you are, you can always change your stuff. It's one of the saddest things I see in life where people think they stuck somewhere. Like, people literally think that they stuck in a circumstance. They think they stuck where they live, stuck in a job. And the thing is, well, I don't know how to do anything else. And it's like, well, learn. I mean, shoot, there's some stuff I'm about to get into. And my first thought was, not knowing how to do it has never stopped me before. Oh, man. Like, one of the things, I'll share that with you. I'm thinking about expanding, like, into a business where I'm employing other people. And I was just like, I haven't had to do that before. And I'm like, because what I do now, I could do this solo for the rest of my life and make a very good salary. I don't really need it. But then I said, one of the things I'm thinking, people out here need jobs, and I got some ideas. So, I said, you know what? It's never stopped me before. So I'll be learning, like, different things. And that could be with any profession. I might decide just to do something totally different. I probably have to learn how to do it. So, remember, you can always change. So anyway, right? That's all I got for today, y'all. That's all I got for today. Remember, and that's part of what I always say to close this, rising and transforming. The reality is you should always be transforming. 1 year from now, I should be able to point to some tangible differences in videos, books, and everything from this year. I might have something else totally going, Even if that change is just improving, quality of podcast. Maybe finding a studio somewhere where I can broadcast from. Because you always transforming anyway, whether you like it or not. You always transforming. See, that's the whole thing. It's funny, I was gonna close this off, but Spirit moved me to, like, share this little part. You always transforming anyway. But see, what happens is sometimes people are given a chance to make that choice to make a change, and they don't do it because they get used to whatever they're doing. They embrace it. They might have a poverty mindset, and they decide, I'm just going to, I'm not making money, I'm not happy. I'm just going to cope, instead of just saying, I'm tired of not making money, and I'm tired of not being happy, so I got to make a change. And that's the important thing. That's the very important thing. So you're doing it anyway, but consciously always know that you can make that change. So anyway, now that's it for today. Keep rising and transforming. Peace.